Yes, 1 second.
Okay.
All right, I think you're good to go. Yeah.
Hi. Oh my God, you got a whole crowd with you. Look
Yeah,
at that.
we're over here in Florida. We're having a little incentive trip.
Oh my God, Maggie, you are the best, eh? Spoiling your people like that.
Absolutely.
Anyways, I am so excited to come on here because I just realized it's a whole bunch of people that are looking to go to VP land. Oh, now I see myself. This is great. So, you know, I see that it's a lot of people that are looking to go to VP and then of course NVP by GTC. And that is hands down so possible, you guys. Like, I want to share with you guys a little bit about my story, like how we talked with Sammy. I started my Arbonne journey in 2011. And when I started my business, I really just had an interest in like earning an extra $300 a month. And that was really what was driving me to get started, because at the time I was working in fashion. I absolutely loved what I was doing. But the one thing that most people didn't see from the outside looking in was the fact that I was literally like every month I was struggling to make extra money. And like, I heard something yesterday that majority of Canadians are living $200 over their means. So what that tells me today is like, we have the best opportunity to be sharing with people, because I don't know anywhere else where we can build this kind of lifestyle, but more or less just start to earn an extra income and even have a tax benefit the way we do. So all that to say, that's how I started Arbonne. I went to Milva Kennedy's Discover Arbonne. If you guys don't know Milva Kennedy is, she's like if you think I'm an energy bunny, she's like times 10 me. And I remember listening to her. She had the Mercedes, she had the car, she had won a bunch of trips. And I was like, that's good for her, but I don't think that's for me, right? And I'm going to settle myself on the floor over here just to be more cozy. You know, so what happened is I little bit by going to Discover Arbonne. So if you're not plugging into monthly online calls, which obviously you already are because you're already successful, you're already here. I was plugging into the monthly Discover Arbonne. And what happened little bit by little bit was that I started to see that it was really ordinary people becoming like district managers, area managers, regional vice presidents, and they were clearly doing something different than I was. So I just stayed committed to going to the meeting. And 1 year went by, I became a district manager, the area manager, and I spent 3 years at area manager level. And I was plugging into the meeting. I felt like I was doing everything I needed to do. And truthfully, now looking back, I can see that what I was not doing. And this is what I really want to share with you guys. And there was a lot of things that happened in the journey towards region, and then more so even towards the journey to nation. And I'm going to share all that with you guys. But all that to say, it took me 3 years to become a regional vice president. And after becoming a regional vice president, I had my ups and downs throughout my business, of course, like anybody else. And it took me another 2 years to become a national vice president. Now I've been a national vice president going on my 3rd year this year. And I can honestly say that I haven't had a flatline business since I became a national vice president. I'm so proud and grateful of my whole team for that. And that's why I'm so excited to share with you guys today, what my top tips to the top were, okay? So my major shift from area to region was, you know, for 3 years, I was looking to sponsor somebody. I was looking for that ace that was going to change my business. I was looking for that person. I was looking for those people to do more uncomfortable things that I was willing to do. Okay. And so I felt like I was already committed. I was committed to weekly events. And I was like, quand ça viendra, ça viendra. When it will come, right? And the reality is that it never came until I went through a couple seasons of pain to have what I wanted forever. And I look at the lifestyle that we can create with Arbonne, and hands down, we do like, look, right now I'm integrating Arbonne into my life, my daily life. I had an online launch this morning. Even though we're traveling, I just met somebody in the shopping mall, having intention. These are things that I would have to like be sitting down and like be really committed to doing. But now I have intention all the time of breathing life into people. So what happened is that I decided that I was going to become a regional vice president before my daughter was born. So my first daughter, 5 years ago. And I started scheduling, yes, lunches, which maybe you guys are already doing. And of course, I'm sure you are. But the difference was that I was telling them that I was on a mission to not only become a regional vice president, but to promote other people to regional vice president. So that was really my big shift, because before that, people were like, well, Arbonne is great for you, but like, what's in it for me, right? And so making it about other people. And at that time, I became a regional vice president, really full jam-packed calendar, 2 seasons of pain to have long-term gain. I built a really solid business. I had 5 area managers that promoted direct to me. So I was really on a mission to add an extra $1,000 a month. Don't want to make too much noise. I was on a mission to add an extra $1,000 a month to most people that I was signing up and getting them to area manager like ASAP. And that happened. I had never promoted. I promoted 1 area manager that year before I became a region. And the year that I became a regional vice president, I promoted 4 area managers all in the same time period. So what does that tell me? It tells me that our energy dictates everything, and what our vision is, it dictates absolutely everything what we're doing. And having the intention and the set date. And that's why I love this group so much, because you guys clearly have your set date to promote by April 1st, because this is our last GTC, guys, like all together. This is unbelievable. Like, we're literally never going to have this kind of powwow. Like, we're going to have worldwide, but we're going to have, this is our last chance to be walking that stage all together. And so this is go time, like go time. And what I can tell you is that numbers, I could go over numbers, I could go over all those things, but truthfully, numbers are just energy, 100%. And so I became regional vice president after 3 years. And that was really my aha moment, was like, it had to start with me. I had to start doing the things that were really uncomfortable that I was hoping somebody else would do. I had to start doing them, right? And then from there, committing to helping other people take my title of area manager, and committing to them that by the year end, they would take the title of regional vice president. And of course, I didn't become a national vice president at that time. Maybe I could have. Who knows? The universe only knows. And I had my baby, and I have to say honestly, like, I took my foot off the gas when I became regional vice president, which don't do if you're going to region. Play on the momentum. If I can give you one piece of advice, every single one of you, whether you're an area or a region right now, you can finish the year as a national vice president. I know it, we've seen it. It's all about creating momentum and flying with it. So that's my first piece of advice, is really becoming that person that you hope to sponsor. Be that person, be the example, because truthfully, people will only do, and I always remind myself this, people will only do and show up about 20% of what you do. So if you're not doing much, imagine what your team is doing right now, right? Okay, so now on to national vice president. Now, national vice president is, region, you have a little bit more of a control over what's going on in terms of activity and who you're promoting. You got like 4 areas, you got something going on with that. I remember when I decided to go nation, I remember the day specifically. It was the 30th of August, 2016. I was celebrating my 5-year anniversary with Arbonne, and I was not a national vice president, and I was not happy. And so the next morning, September 1st, I called Debbie Neal up. So to, find somebody that scares you enough that you can be accountable to. So I called Debbie Neal up and I told her, I said, I'm becoming a national vice president. To put you in perspective, the month prior to me declaring that I was going to become a national vice president on September 1st, we had done like 72,000 cubics. Okay. So that month of September, I was talking to my sideline, Jess Garsh, yesterday. And like that month I declared, I sponsored four people direct to me, all in a district qualification, all running towards going not only district, but area. I told all my areas that this was the month that they were going region. And ironically, 2 people stepped up to the plate and qualified region that month. And we ran, and I told my team, I declared out loud, I said, we're doing this month. We went to CNTC. I had never like affirmed so much into my body and myself that I was the national vice president. So you're not becoming, you already are. And you really have to feel that in your body. And ironically, what I'm going to share with you is the fact that, ironically, I was looking at a bottle that I have at home yesterday when we were about to leave, and the bottle was written health. Sorry, somebody keeps calling me. It was on the bottle, health, love, and success. And because when you become a national vice president, and even regional vice president, either way to have success in our business, you have to elevate yourself. And this all comes down to vibrations. And I know sometimes we get so caught up with the vibrations that we don't get caught up with the activity, but you got to match, like if any of you were at CNTC, match the personal growth match the activity, and match the vibrational feeling, okay? Because all of these things are what are going to get you in line to go where you want to get to. What we're on a mission to do is become national vice presidents and VPs, executive national vice presidents, because executive national vice presidents means that you elevated yourself and you're elevating others. And we're doing the same thing in all the titles. And I mean, that title is not a really big deal because at the end of the day, we're chasing, yes, the title for the recognition and for that next hop, but you're just chasing the next level of yourself is really what you're doing. And you're doing it through activity, through vibration, all of these things, okay? And of course, personal growth, because you have to grow yourself to get to the next level. So for me, at the time when I started Arbonne, I wasn't financially prosperous. I wasn't healthy. I was like a Diet Coke and chocolate eater, bad. I would say like probably 80% of my diet was acidic. When I look at all the things that I was doing, and like I didn't like where I was living, I didn't like any of these things, etc. It was impossible to attract more prosperity, more love, more success if I stayed the same person, still consuming the same ideas, still eating the same food, still thinking the same thoughts. So on a more grandiose level, it was so intentional on that September date to bring all these vibrations to the next level, okay? I declared to my team, I told them at 1 o'clock on closing night, we're gonna do a Zoom, and I'm gonna tell you guys that we're in nation qual. So we ran, everybody, two direct regional vice presidents, like I think 8 people went in qualification for area. And Debbie Neal's best advice that she gave me was, okay, you wanna go nation, you wanna look at getting 16 area managers. So I started looking at my business and seeing like, who is my strong districts and who's like a district that really wants it and wants to go to area. So that was the first step. And then of course I sponsored 4 direct business partners that I was training to go area ASAP. So all that to say, we finished that month at 152,000 QBs. Okay. And I, like, for you guys who don't, of course, you know, you're running to become a national vice president. I got there and I thought, what do I do? And this is probably my best piece of advice to all of you guys. I remember at 12, like, or whatever, 1 o'clock in the morning when I was like, my team was waiting to get on this call and to hear me say we were a nation qual. And I was like, oh my God, like we didn't make it. What I realized there is that that was the most transformative time in my whole entire life. And it gives me goosebumps. And it was the best month of my business ever, even more than when I was promoted to national vice president, because I was all in, I was committed, I was watching my thoughts, I was zapping the negativity, I was focusing on where I was going, I was looking to serve people, I was knowing that I was elevating people to the next level. Regardless if I didn't make it to national vice president, I knew I was going to make it at one point. And I knew that how I showed up on that Zoom and how you guys all show up in life for your team, for your family, and all of these things, it matters. People are watching us. So I got on that Zoom at 1 o'clock and I said, you know what, guys, we didn't make it. We're short by 8,000 QBs, but you know what? We're going to become a nation, and we just had the best month ever. And I congratulated every single person that had promoted and had joined and all the new regional vice presidents. And it was probably the best lesson. And I was just reminded that lately, you know, having conversations with people, the best time in our business is not necessarily when we promote or we make more money. It's when we're all in, okay? And so now we're like heading into the last stretch of January, heading into the last 2 months. This is the time that you will remember for the rest of your life if you decide to play all out. And you don't want to be living with regrets. So all that to say, that was the biggest shift for me. It was the vibration. It was the intention. It was everything I was thinking about. So what was I doing? Okay, so I had labeled all my water bottles health, love, success, because I wanted to be drinking that. I had to physically feel it. So sometimes you have, like, you hear people talk about vibration, positive thoughts. Sometimes you have to really put it in your face. I was doing mirroring. I was talking to myself in the mirror saying, my name is Alexandra Sauve. I'm a national vice president. I'm an award winner. And ironically, I won 2 ACE awards after this whole thing have happened. So it just shows you, like, what you think about is really what you become. I was doing meditation. I was not eating any processed food. And I still don't really, like, I don't have any interest for it. I mean, from time to time, but I just, even to this day, I really look at what's serving me and what's serving my vibrations. And when we look at like gossiping, and I mean, we're part of a community of women, but anytime I find myself in a scenario that there's gossip involved or like low vibrations, I just steer clear of that, because it doesn't serve me. And what doesn't serve you, what doesn't serve me doesn't serve you either. And what doesn't serve us doesn't allow us to do what we were gifted to do in Arbonne, and that's to serve people and elevate people, to shine their light. And if we're there lowering our vibrations, we can't shine, and we can't shine onto other people. So this is really like the math of Arbonne is really in there. It's the crunch of it, right? And so all I could say, like, I could share how we became a national vice president, but really I didn't make it the first time I ran for it, but I definitely went national vice president when we qualified the month after, and then I fell off my roof. It's a whole big story, but all of that to say, we promoted 5 months later. And when we promoted, we had more leaders. I just knew in my body, like I was already a national vice president. I was already regional vice president, managing my business like a national vice president. And I wasn't focusing on the numbers. I was really focusing on how many new people were adding and how many people were being coached to do the same thing that I was doing, right? And so that's really that in a nutshell, guys. Like, you know, you guys all deserve it. Arbonne is in like crazy momentum right now. And I just know that the next wave of leaders is coming from us, and we have it in the palm of our hands. Like, think about it. Groupe Rocher does business in over 100 countries. What do you think Arbonne will be in the next decade? Because I look back a decade ago, I'd never heard even the word Arbonne. So think about the people in your life that you're about to meet. Like, I just got a phone number. I got to text this girl and send her a package and send her all this stuff in the shopping mall. Like, having intention of who are you? You might meet somebody that hears Arbonne for the first time today, and in 10 years from now, they're going to have goosebumps because the word Arbonne, the company Arbonne, everything that Arbonne did for them completely transformed their lives like it did for me and so many other people. So just go out there with that intention and let go of the people that, you know, aren't serving you with their thoughts about or concerning our business. That doesn't serve us to be concerning ourselves with them. What we need to do is do us, and do it us at the best ability that we can, because when you feel good, you attract good to you. And when you attract good to you, like, you're helping other people feel good. And that's really our mission here. So that's pretty much what I'd have to share. And I'm so thankful, Hallie. Look at Hallie. Hallie just participated in all of that. She didn't want to be sitting around. She wanted me to be just walking around with this thing. So good. I hope you can forgive me for not having a great setup and it's a little bit backward noise.
Oh my gosh, Alex, you are amazing. Oh,
I love you guys.
Your energy is always contagious, and I feel like that's what you're known for, because you're just like, you know, everyone can just feel your passion because but you work on it. Like, you focus on your vibration, and that's something that I think we all need to learn, because you can look at someone and be like, oh, well, they're happy all the time. Well, they're so energetic. Well, of course they're attracting all these people, but I'm not like that. Well, you can't be like that, but you actually work on that every single day. You put out that intention. So I love everything you shared. I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Oh, I love you guys. And, you know, there's going to be times, like, especially this last Maui trip, I was sitting on the beach and we were doing like a sandcastle, and I had my whole phone away from me the whole time. And I could cry for days to think about what Arbonne's done for me. And there was times when I was going nation, my daughter was 2 years old. And so I'm talking to the young moms out there. Like, I was devastated leaving to go do a launch. And I was and I was even thinking, like, am I doing the right thing? Right? Like, you're leaving and you're missing out on really important moments, you feel like, and it gives me tears. But you know what, guys? Like, Sydney's barely been at daycare or like preschool all of month of January. We've been traveling, doing stuff together. I get to spend my days with her now, and I get to be there for the really important stuff. And more so, I get to afford a lifestyle that most of her friends unfortunately will never ever get to live, right? And so, and the mindset, all this stuff, like what we learn in Arbonne is so priceless, guys. So don't, you know, as much as you can feel guilty, it is so worth it. Like, every bit. And it's only a few seasons of pain. Like, you got to remind yourself that, because yes, we keep working our business, but it's in a very different way afterwards. Like, you never stop working your business, but those moments, I swear, guys, like, I was like, I lost my voice building my business so many times, and I still do it now. I love it so much, but it was like just driving that thing, and just know that you got it. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you for spending your time, and thank you for, you know, finding a quiet corner. Even though your little baby was having.
I'm strolling her around.
You're like, but that's amazing. But that just shows us, right? Like, life is going to be messy sometimes, but you still showed up and killed it and gave us all so much inspiration. So thank you. You're so
okay. Love you guys. Rock it out.
guys.
I can't wait to cheer you guys on stage.
Yes.
I'm gonna cheer all you guys on stage. Okay, bye guys.
Thank you. Bye everyone. See you next week. Bye.